Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday. Let's make sure here. Good afternoon, everyone. We've been having some issues with the somehow the recording has been turned off after it's been turned on. That's happened a couple of times. It happened with the light frequency that we did meditation a few days ago. So if you hear me check it a couple of times, that's what I'm doing. But welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, July 8, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. And isn't it amazing? It doesn't even seem like 4th of July was here. It was like a blink. And it shows you how the time's been accelerated and trying to catch up to the planet's spin. We're going to have a Time for Change call Wednesday, like we always do. This call is absolutely a must listen to. Paramount that it's listened to. It's going to clear up a lot of things that people are confused about. They're not sure about things. The financial aspect of the planet, what's really going on, what's been put in place, so on and so forth. So that will be this Wednesday night, a little after 9:15 p.m. Eastern for the Time for Change call. There's major shifting happening on this planet. I mean, it's not light. It's huge. I'll put it that way. Well, there's not a word to describe it. Now, there's a lot of people that don't see it, don't feel it, don't understand it, which is okay. It doesn't make them any different than any of us. It's just that they're not conscious yet. They're conscious, but they don't know they're conscious. We'll put it that way. So they're in a bicameral mode. So they're not gonna, not in this lifetime. They're not going to get it. And remember, we never die. We leave the body. But we're omnipotently powerful, supreme beings that never die. There's on the meditation I did yesterday, the picture that was attached with it. If you really want to see what you look like outside of that body, the picture will show you the ball of light. That's what you look like. Period. You aren't carrying a body that you left on Earth. But if you really want to know your true essence of the God, the kingdom of God, the light, that's it. We're all a ball of light. Picture pretty much, it's simple, but it sends a good message. When you can stop worrying about the future, you'll become such and this is, you got to look at this analogy from Hoffitz's. When you can stop worrying about the future, you'll become such a drunk, laughing nuisance that God will then lean down and start combing you into His hair. There's a lot of people right now, and you could probably feel the energy and the frequency. There's just a lot of people worrying and stressing and fearing. They don't know, really. Some have a gut feeling, some have, some are kind of in the heart, mind, and then others are totally ego-minded. So the insecurities there, the worry, the stress, the fear, the unknowing, what's going to happen, what's, hour to hour, day to day, week to week, month to month. And unfortunately, there's not enough for them to see that's impactful enough yet for them to see that, this constriction of this planet for a very long time is being lifted. There's not much left to do. There are some key situations that are being tended to right now. But all in all, you're talking about a complete cleanse on all planes of existence. All of them, all the layers, not just the physical. Now, eventually, all of us will be heart-minded. We will be spiritual. We will know who and what we are. We will know that we are a God in the body. We are pure consciousness, omnipotently powerful. We will know that we are master manifestors, manifest anything we choose within a blink of the eye. We will also know that we are part of the collective consciousness. What does that really mean? What it means is that we're pure consciousness, all of us, in these bodies. It's labeled God, and then there's, like I said, name whatever you want to name it, whatever you feel good about, but whatever the name, vibrational frequency. But we're pure consciousness. So what does that mean? It means that we're connected to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Not ever not being connected. We're always connected. And then one might say, well, you say this, that it means it doesn't seem like we're connected. It's not literally, figuratively. So we're, all of us, connected. The gods that we are, the pure consciousness. And not only to this area, or even this quadrant of this galaxy, but to all existences in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it is for us to acknowledge this fully. That's our challenge in these bodies. To discover it, embrace it, and be it. And you'll see things fall away in your life. You'll see things that you will no longer be frazzled about or worried or fearful or any of that stuff. It won't be there. Well, how can that be? You'll be in the heart mind. You'll meditate every day because you want to, not because you have to. And you'll discover more and more about yourself, which is a tremendous adventure. And like I've said, we've all, this isn't our first rodeo, and I think we all know that. We've had many lifetimes. But, the exciting thing about this is that you're on this meditation because you know that this lifetime that you're in right now is the big one. It's everything that you have ever existed to discover while still being in a physical form. That you're the God. You're the God source. You're source creator. You're all of it. Period. We all are. And once we acknowledge that and comprehend it, that our whole existence will be shifted across the board. You realize that, we've experienced a lot of things through a lot of lifetimes. But when you realize the fact that time is irrelevant, it really is. We've been around for trillions and trillions of years. We call them years, right? Some planets go around this sun and this solar system. It takes them 3,600 Earth years to go one orbit around the sun. That's Nibiru. That's one planet. Called a planet because that's have a civilization on it, in it. So it is far-reaching. Some people believe that we're the only intelligent life in all existence. That's their prerogative, their opinion. But everything is teeming with life. It's massive. And all of us, are learning that we will eventually plug into that and be able to be anywhere, anytime, any place. You won't need starships. You won't need them. You won't need vessels and Dyson spheres and all these technologies, because who created all of this? We did. It's whatever's been invented. This guy, whatever you invent has already been invented. Okay. Somewhere, someplace. Remember, we're all connected. We're connected on a very deep level as one. Different facets, right? All experiencing things differently in a lot of ways. Some similar. That's what we do. We experience. How else are we going to learn and move up different levels of divine perfection? We're the only thing that is real. We create everything so that we have entertainment. What would it be like if we had none of this stuff? You realize how boring we would be bored to tears after a while. So, doesn't it make sense that we create things? Now, not all of us know that we create them. We think that they're just there, that before me they were here, and now I'm here and they're here. But you start to identify things and understand. It makes sense that we create things to entertain us. We create trees, birds, bees, all kinds of stuff, so that we're entertained. Along the way, we experience. Some of them, we all know, some of them are not that great of experiences to us, at least in physical form, but we learn from them. Others are divine, wonderful. And then we learn that the ego mind is really a challenge for us, but it's supposed to be there so that we can learn from it and then master it. The insecurities, the feelings, because these bodies are highly emotional, as we all know. And see, a lot of us suppress that. We suppress it. We bury it. We want to bury it, down deep and not deal with it. And we're super sensitive, so we experience things, brokenhearted and disappointment and let down, and things that we want don't happen, things that we don't want happen, and we get kind of stressed, to put it mildly. And then along the way, somewhere along the way with each of us, we begin to discover something. It might just be little tiny subtle things, but then you focus on that and you go, wait a minute here, how did this happen? And you say to yourself, well, I know how it happened. I'm the one that manifested it. And remember, side ego mind, you're in the heart mind, you're going, well, I manifested them. So I manifest this, I can manifest anything. But then you also know that you can't have any doubt about you, right? About the universe, and about your manifestation. Can't have any doubt at all, zero. If you do, it's negated. And that is a fine line. That's why we talk about three sides of the coin, right? Because the edge of the coin is where we want to be. That's a balancing act. We don't really care to be on heads or tails on either side of the coin. We want to be on the edge. So we're balancing it. That's the now. The edge of the coin is the now. We don't care to go into the future because we've been there, right, so many times. And the past. All the past, you could be doing anything. You could be brushing your teeth and all of a sudden you float into the past and focus on someone, something, some event, and you say to yourself, no, that's all dead and gone. Why would I be focused on that, brushing my teeth? So you go back and you focus in the now on brushing your teeth, and that's it. Period. Nothing else. And these little exercises that we actually fall into because we don't care to be in yesterday and tomorrow, because we've been there for so long, in so many lifetimes. That's why we keep reincarnating. Even, it doesn't matter if we're blank, because that's all going to be gone anyway. Finally. Everybody's going to remember their past lives. Everyone. It's not that, only a small group can do that. No. All of us can do that. But again, it's choice. So there's some of us that are just not going to embrace that. And, everything's staggered. So maybe the next lifetime or the next. Eventually, they will. See, we rely on our minds way too much. And to some people, that sounds absolutely silly to say that, right? But we worry. Worrying, whatever word you ever want to call it, it's an effect of not trusting our spiritual connection to this universe. It is an effect of not trusting our spiritual connection to this universe. So it's a disconnection. Creates the assumption that we are powerless beings who are not the real manifestors of our future. Which is not true, because we are. The opposite, see. And our ego mind wants full control of reality, thinking that having a stronger, more strategic hold on this life is the most optimum place to be. When we resist trusting in life, we stop letting in love and honoring the divine mystery that surrounds us. Then the ego mind becomes very tight, tense, demanding, controlling, and worried about everything. We tend to worry because, we tend to worry and we become the ego. The ego abhors being weak, vulnerable, and unprotected from unexpected change. Heck, all of us, every moment, have unexpected change all around us, within us. It thinks real strength is found in hardness and wants total security, safety, and 100% guarantee that life will be okay. But what it doesn't realize, that this life is a perpetual leap of faith into the unknown. Every waking moment. A perpetual leap of faith into the unknown. It somehow has forgotten that true strength is found in softness. And that water always wins over rock in the end. How does it do that? Wears it down. That's how, we look at river rocks. How can they be so smooth? Well, it's the river, the stream, constantly flowing over them. And eventually it literally polishes them into those, really nice shapes. No jagged edges. That's why they're called river rock. But see, the ego is learning how to have a soft, forgiving heart filled with trust. For this is the only way to relax, enjoy this lifetime, and truly become worry-free. Now, one would say that's not possible. That's not possible. everybody worries. No one can not worry. So this, insecure, this worrier within us, it can be a bit tricky to catch and sometimes super challenging to stop because we're so used to it. We can get accustomed to blindly following the over-analytical, skeptical, doubting mindset. Haven't you ever been in a situation where something's presented to you and it looks really great, right? But then that little voice comes in and says, no, don't do that. And you get an uneasy feeling, and so you withdraw. And then you're talking with somebody later on and said, hey, you know that blah, blah, blah that so-and-so is talking to you about and talked to me? Yeah. Well, I went ahead and did that, and it was absolutely off the charts. It was phenomenal. Oh, you have no idea what you've missed. Hasn't that ever happened to you? I think it has all of us at least once, if not more times. Now this insecure worry addict that's inside us is that part which has stopped appreciating this life just the way it is. It feels incapable of accepting that whatever will manifest tomorrow will be for the highest good of all concerned. Right? Now, the worry inside of us is like a 24-hour slave laborer who is constantly efforting for security through pushing the mind to dwell only on a negative perspective of life. It is logical and so fearful that it believes thinking positively is just some weak, gullible, naive, unrealistic mindset that is unprepared for some potential future horror that could occur. Great Chinese proverb. If your problem has a solution, then why worry about it? If your problem doesn't have a solution, then why worry about it? There's not much you can do to convince a super worried mind that a negative outcome is not coming ahead. It's almost like this biochemical cocktail has been created in the worry-filled brain that makes it quite challenging and almost painful to believe in positive thoughts. I've had people get mad because I've commented. They're telling me about this horrible, this bad, and this, and so I interject. Yeah, but if you look at it from this perspective, if you would, just an idea, if you look at it from this perspective, it's actually quite positive. And if you come back with positive things, have you ever been in that situation where the being that you're communicating with, interacting with, so you know that they're not in a wonderful mood and they're just spewing negatives just constantly this and that and this and that. And you may say something like, there's always good and bad and good. And there's always negative and positive, and there's always positive and negative. We get them both. But see, the ego mind, it goes hook, line, and sinker to the negative. And negative isn't our natural state of being. Never has been. It's a low frequency. So this worried brain cocktail generates this right feeling that we should be worried and continue on this path, being even more serious and concerned about any potentially highly critical or important life situation. The worried mind cannot trust life or take a vacation. You ever notice that? You could be on vacation, or You can be with the family on vacation. You're just going to relax and chill, right? And then that mind gets working. And all this stuff comes in. So it's never a good time to joke around, is it? Have any fun, appreciate our spiritual nature, celebrate being alive today. Because when that cocktail of worried biochemicals have taken over the brain, it's so powerful that the only place to find any freedom or clarity is by shifting gears into higher consciousness. In other words, you're in yesterday and tomorrow, and you know it, and you say, I'm going to go into the now. When we interject a steady stream of pure awareness into our mind, we slowly stop believing that our fearful fantasy is going to manifest. The energy of pure consciousness acts like a river of clean, clear flowing water, which purifies away the negative ideas which have little foundation, if any, in reality. Do you have something that comes into you, right? Your mind comes in. And it could be anything. And you start fretting about it. Not maybe at first just a tad. And then it gets a little bit more. And a little bit more. What's happening? It's a thought. That's all it is. It came in. And you embraced that thought as your own. And so then your master manifesting engine kicks into high gear, and you move that energy, that thought, you move it into form. You create it into your reality, and then you experience it. That's exactly what happens to all of us. That's as simple as it gets without going into complications. This is what we do. And we conjure this up. None of us are exempt from it. We all are challenged with it from time to time. Now, you go on a vacation, right? But let's say that you have no financial issues. Nothing. There's no issues anywhere, really, at all. It's like, this is great. But the mind, say, it starts conjuring things that were not even there to begin with. And so then it comes in as a thought, and then you embrace it, and the next thing you know, you're worried about something. Yeah, you're stressing about something. When before there wasn't anything. Really. But see, the nice thing about it, the good thing, is that you identify that. See, before you didn't. You had no clue. But now you identify that. You say, I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm embracing this, and the ego mind now is on fire with it, and I didn't have any issues until this came in. It could be when you're getting to your location. Maybe you rented Airbnb. Maybe you're on the shoreline somewhere. Wherever. And then this worry comes in. And you go, I'm in yesterday and tomorrow. I know that. That's where the ego mind resides. I'm going to go into the now. I'm going to focus on the moment to moment. Whatever the ego mind does, that's its business, not mine. That's how you move out of it. That's how it takes place. When you know that, say, you can begin to use it. The normal self is the mind. The mind is with limitations. But pure consciousness is beyond limitation and is reached by investigation into the I, Ramana Marisha. How many times have you heard this? Right. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Not to worry. You can tell a worried mind several million times not to worry. Yet the reason why it continues worrying is that it isn't educated. It's a child. Our ego mind is a child. And it's up to us as the teachers to educate it, okay? And to know what it's about, what this illusion that's in front of us is all about. And we learn. And then we begin to teach it. That the now is the only place. That it is loved and embraced and understood. And that it's safe. There's nothing to worry about. And so you begin to master it that way. And then you move out of being its slave. And it moves into being your servant. This is how you master it. And then slowly but surely, it moves into a contentment, a peacefulness. And it loses all of its anxieties and fears and worries and insecurities and stresses. And then it starts to realize it's no longer needed. And then it slowly fades out. And then we're purely in the heart-mind, in the now, communing with the God, the pure consciousness that we are within this body. So in the quiet time of this meditation, comprehend that, focus on the fact that you're the master and you can master the ego mind. All of us can. Do we want to? Ask yourself, do you want to? Do you want to master the ego mind so it becomes your servant and you're no longer its slave? You will not worry. You will not stress and you will not fear. You will not look at this life really seriously. You will know that it is a temporary stay in a biological organic body, that you have the gift or the opportunity to experience physical material life, which is phenomenal. You make the choices, the God that you are. No one else makes them. You do. So it's you on what you've discovered about you. And remember, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times is paramount. You're not in this to ridicule yourself or cut yourself down or deplete yourself or anything. You're in this to enjoy. You're in that body to enjoy this life. We are all programmed totally different, wrong, the opposite side of the fence or the tracks. We wouldn't, do you think we would come here to suffer and to go through what we go through as a species, as a civilization on this planet for so very long? Yeah, it's experience, sure. And we embrace experience. I think we are coming into our own, for the most part, some of us are, to understand these things, to comprehend them. When you look at a mountaintop, or you look at a shoreline, or you look at a sunset, or you look at a sunrise, or you see something like a butterfly floating by or landing on a flower, and you say to yourself, that's the God that I am. Now, those that aren't aware will say, isn't that beautiful? And they're missing the whole point. They're missing the whole target. You look at that butterfly, you go, that's the God that I am. That's the truth. You look at the flowers, that's the God that I am. The trees, the sky, everything. Doesn't have to be huge and ominous. It could be small. And every moment you get, you can say to yourself from the heart mind, I am deeply grateful for the very moment I'm in. Deeply grateful for the very moment, no matter what's happening, see. Yeah, have you ever gone through life and you've had situations where you're in a lot of pain or something, you're going, why? I just got to get this, got to go. Get rid of it. And would you ever think to say in the middle of that turmoil, deeply grateful for the very moment I'm in? Probably not. Probably not. Some of us would, though. And everything just subsides and then vanishes. What's the best thing? See, everybody says, well, what people are rationalizing, they'll say, what's the worst case scenario? Oh, this, and this can happen. What's the best case scenario? Well, this, and this can happen. Your choice. You can immediately say, what's the best case scenario? And you go through this life, and you really do, through the heart-mind, have the attitude of whatever happens, happens. If this is, if I have this, then that's great. If I don't have it, that's great too. But not superficially, genuinely, where you feel it and you're good with it. This is when we start to break the cycle. This is breaking the cycle of the material physical world. It doesn't mean, everybody's got to be poor and broke and living out in the woods and stuff. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that we don't fixate on it. We know it's already ours. We already have it. We always have. Just that we never knew how to go about it. So as we learn how to go about it, we start to realize this has always been here. It's not something new. It's been you forever. And this is how the cycle of this species, this civilization on this planet, is going to turn the corner into spirituality. And it's going to realize that everything we ever desired is already ours. We forgot how to do it. Isn't that amazing? We forgot how to do it. Now we're learning again how to do it again. So in the quiet time of this meditation, know through your heart mind as you listen and you watch your breath rise and fall, still as a statue, relaxing into the body. Know that your natural state is abundance, is prosperity, is wonderful health, happiness, joy, bliss. It's not the other stuff. Because remember, if you start feeling bad and you focus on that, you're going to start feeling worse. When you start feeling bad, you focus on the fact that you're deeply grateful for the very moment you're in. You shift your direction into a higher frequency. You won't feel bad. I'll join you in a meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose. Easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Focus on the breath rising and falling. Stop beating yourself up for making a mistake. You've always done the best you knew how to do. Everything that has ever happened was perfect. You did the right thing. And the bigger picture of it all, this universe never makes a mistake. You played that role in your life exactly the right way for everything to be perfectly as it is right now. Take this moment. Forgive yourself. Embrace your inherent, innocent nature. It is your choice when you let go. Not if you can. Making the decision to let go of your problem is 90% of the battle. Making a choice means releasing the past and move forward with life. Letting go is a natural part of life. It is the initiating key in the enlightenment process. It starts when you stop judging yourself and your life and begin to merge with the experience of the whole thing. Make that decision today. Let go of any indecisiveness and move forward with confidence that you can choose to take a baby step today towards letting go of your judgment on your life and enjoying the experience more often. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We will return here Tuesday, July 9, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on inside you or outside of you. Open your heart and let the magic flow in.